There have been many wars fought throughout history, but none of them are as interesting as the Great Emu War. This Great War took place in 1932 in the horrifying country of Australia. Even though its locals already put up with the world's most deadly snakes, spiders, jellyfish, normal fish, and everything in between, they just couldn't stand the emu. Why, you might ask?
Oh my God.
So, on June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand was shot and killed. This assassination would lead to a cascading event known at the time as the Great War, and later dubbed World War I, after another Austrian began to escalate tensions in Europe. Anyways, Australia was one of the many countries in the war that won, so they had to repay their soldiers with something after what they put them through. So why not just give them some land? Just as long as they build something there and start a farm. And you know what? It didn't work at all. The land the soldiers had received was in Western Australia. And wouldn't you know it, but barely anything grows in Western Australia because all of the soil is sand. This made the soldiers slightly irritated, but I mean, free land's free land. Flash forward to 1932, when the whole world is going through the Great Depression, and the price of the veterans' wheat has dropped by 80%. The veterans are very unhappy now, but things would just get worse and worse for them as the only crops that they could grow in the sandy soil soon started to disappear bite by bite. 1932 wasn't just a bad year for the veterans, but the emus too, as they were being pushed to Western Australia thanks to a massive drought. These thirsty emus had nothing left to do than to eat the juicy and delicious crops in front of them. The veteran farmers were not happy. The combination of sandy soil, low wheat prices, low crop output, probably some PTSD, and emus eating all that was left was too much for them to bear. So, the veterans went back to the only way that they know how to solve conflict: war. After enough emus had eaten crops, the veteran farmers went to the government with their problem. The government agreed to declare war on the emus after they realized that no emu army would be able to fight against an army of soldiers. Plus, emus were big birds that would be easy for any person to shoot. Or so they thought. The first attempt to kill the emus was on November 2nd, 1932. The overly confident soldiers that were deployed found around 50 emus and attempted to exterminate them. They planned to ambush the emus but failed, as when they started shooting, the emus broke up into groups and quickly ran away. You see, the problem with shooting emus is that they are extremely fast and take multiple bullets to take down due to their size. Despite this fact, they continue to try and kill emus by ambushing them. But that wasn't enough to stop the almighty emu army. The soldiers got so desperate that they attached a machine gun to the back of a truck and attempted to chase down the birds. The only issue is that the truck wasn't fast enough to catch up to the emus, and the bouncing of the truck made aiming impossible. By the end of the first attempt, no more than 300 birds were dead. These repeated attacks on the emus led them taking the offensive and advancing in small groups on the farms. One emu would be looking out for the other emus while the rest would go and raid the crops. This offensive push by the emus led to a more refined second attempt. This second attempt lasted to December and led to the death of more than 900 emus. After the second attempt, the war was over, with the emus becoming the victor, as they were only able to kill a small fraction of their population. The veterans over the next few decades tried to get the government to try again to kill the emus, but every single time it never got through. The Great Emu War is now remembered today as one of the few wars humans lost to animals. Long live the mighty emu.